Hello, sorry for the delay. Hope everybody is doing well. Let's see who is here. Captain Mal, hello. Fede, hello. LFK, hello. Gonin, ODM, hello. Happy anniversary. Oh, damn, 48. Hinker, thank you. Oh my god, that's loud. Sorry for the dryer sound. Let's see. Jabronas, hello. Amarade, hello. Rorschach, hello. Talkfather, hello. Carla Games late, no worries. No worries. Eisenheim, hello. Yugabi, hello. Elquan, how are you? Alright. So today we're just doing a pretty simple build. It is my first time actually checking out the board as a builder specifically. That is the Mode Encore. Sorry about the noise in the back. It's just my partner's drying hair. And so this is the Mode Encore Series 3. Just got this from a client just to put together with some Obscuras. So it'll be a pretty simple and quick build, but nonetheless, let's check it out. So let's open the box. So inside there is a Mod Musings and obviously Mode branded box with keyboard parts and accessories. And let's take everything out here. Mode screwdriver and key puller, feet. Daughter board, mounting blocks, screwdriver bits, more bits and screws. Then we have our plate and PCB. So you got our 65% plate. If I recall correctly, this board has top mount and the lattice block mount. This is the pre-2026 revision, right? So yeah. Thank you. Nice, very nice. Okay. Let's open up our PCB bag. So we got our PCB here. Very nice. Got our stabs. So I'm actually not sure. Are Mode stabs basically Gateron stabs? I think they are, but I can't be 100% sure. Oh, that's neat. They even have a stabilizer guide on the box. That's quite nice. Is the Sonic PCB lead free? Was this one of the questions that you got in the Discord before, Mason? When you were still active and stuff? Drew, hola. Catwood, hey, mode boards are my favorite. Mode boards are great. I have the 65 and ordered a 2026 Summit. Sonnet, I assume. Please don't convince me to buy this one too. Nice. Oh, ready? Okay. 1 sec, guys. Sorry, guys. Just had to help with something. So, okay, all right. Yeah. So this is the this is not the 2026 Encore. So this is not the you know, the crown mount version of the board. So this is the previous version of the board that has the lattice blocks. So this one is white and polycarb edition, really nice. Kind of made to go with the X-ray set by Mr. Matt. But I don't have the X-ray keycaps here, unfortunately, so we'll just be doing it with whatever we got over here. I do have some of the mode anthracite keycaps as well that I was sent. We can use those as well if it comes to it. To the side. I still have to watch the video on the crown mount. I watched a little bit of it. I just like jumped through it. It was pretty interesting though, the development of it. But I do want to watch it in full. Just want to have that extra half hour to just sit and watch it in full at, you know, normal speed instead of like 1.5 or 2. Hello. Mod Musings. Hello, sir. How are you? Certain spaces only permit lead-free soldering. Not that they can really enforce that well. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, these stabs are quite nice. Sure don't know who makes these stabs. I don't recognize the tooling. Is it Gateron? I'm not sure. They're the screw-in type. Looks like the clips are from the top. Pretty nice. Doing good, tired, trying to wind down from the day. Yeah, that's fair. Work's been busy for me too, actually. Been doing a lot of I've been a little swarmed with documentation work these days, so I just have a lot of like to go like back and forth between docs and taking pictures. Actually, I've been like doing this like kind of like a protocol or like a guide sort of thing. So there's a lot of like kind of, it's almost like a step-to-step guide, step-by-step guide for the work we do. But it's tedious. It's tedious work. Have to go back and forth. So yeah, today was a long day too. Okay, so hot top PCB, so no soldering involved. Let's get our stabs ready. Let me get my fan up here. It's kind of warm in here, actually. So if you hear a little fan noise, that's probably where it's coming from. And get my work foam piece. I like to just use this for support. What switches am I using? I'm using Obscuras today, so a pretty standard fare build. It's kind of like almost like a preset build from the mode shop. When you're able to purchase these, you know, they also offer you like switches and keycaps and all that. So today's client, they purchased everything all together. So they are using mode switches, and I think they also got mode keycaps. I think they got the anthracite ones, as I said. And so it's a full mode kitted build. Let's see, so for layout choices, I'm doing standard everything except for 7U bottom row and standard ANSI for the rest. That's right. Yeah, so 7U and standard ANSI. let's put these aside. Not a big fan of mode board, says you could be. The Encore is an exception. I love the design with the wood accents of the older runs. Yeah, I think the dual material is super interesting. But I personally am, I would consider myself like a kind of like a convert towards modes designs in general. When the Sonnet came out, I thought the Sonnet really did execute so many things really well. And then like ever since, I personally have had a really great time with all their boards. So but yeah, okay, let's get that 205. They need to bring back foam mount, stack mount. It still exists technically, right? Music's a little quiet on my headphones, so I'm gonna raise the volume for me. Okay, let's see. Let's just loop the sliders. Very impressive in the time and effort they put to developing their new crown mounts. Can't wait to try them out. Yeah, it would be nice to try them out too. I am very curious as well. It's good to see innovation, just like attempts at reaching middle grounds between the existing stuff. Like basically that's kind of how you fill out the gap, right? It's you look at the extremes, you look at what exists out there, and you try to fill that gap. So it's cool to see development in these kinds of areas, just in general. I like FOMA with one single screw. The first 80 had 2 pretty large screws. Jedi Buds, hello. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you. I'm doing well. I haven't been streaming that much, I would say, lately. I've just been preoccupied for the most part. Just been preoccupied with life stuff, so haven't really had as much of a chance to stream. But I do have some builds coming up here and there, between client builds and actually showcase stuff. There's only one that I have currently pending, that I should be doing sometime soon whenever it arrives. I'm waiting for the Niawis by Holly, so I'll be checking that out at some point, but I'm waiting for the unit to arrive. So, but other than that, I've honestly just been really preoccupied mentally, emotionally. Do wish I had some more time to do stuff, but feel like come back home from work and then wind down, just like Matt was saying earlier, and then it just kind of runs out really quickly after that. So yeah, but taking it a bit more slowly though, I think. Been watching a lot of TV actually, in terms of like catching up on shows or like watching new shows and things like that, or like old shows that I never watched. So there's been a bit of that, or on occasion just like hanging out with friends a bit more. Yeah, I hope we can get you a unit to check out. Curious to get your impression on it. Oh, well, that would be great. Of course, no rush, but I appreciate you being keen on having a unit sent. I get that, seriously. Yeah, it's my headspace just has been, it's just been everywhere, to say the least. I've just kind of been like a bit absent-minded, a bit yeah, just dealing with life changes. Good changes overall. Good things to hope for. But I'll tell people more about it soon. But just preoccupied with changes at work, changes at home. So just trying to keep my head up, really, or head down, I guess. Hard at work. I've been binging Friends. You know what show I've been watching recently? And it's a cartoon, but I mean, everyone knows Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? So just right now I was watching Dragon Prince. The Dragon Prince. It's also a kids show, but it was also written, or rather directed, by one of the head writers of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it aired on it was on Netflix, right? There's like 7 seasons to it. I was told about it, but I never watched it before, and we're currently watching it. We're like through season 3, and it's you know, it's like when, as it goes with these like kids cartoons, right? They're predictable to a good extent, but the writing is really good, right? Because it's written by someone who clearly has a track record for very fun writing like this. And the world building is great, and it's been a fun ride. How many streams left? I don't know, Nine Walker. I don't know, man. I don't know how many. People are. I've been sort of joking around that I'm gonna take a step back from streaming for a little bit. But I don't know when, how many, like, I don't know, it'll just happen whenever I feel like just kind of taking a slightly more extended break. Probably closer to when I hit that 10-year mark, honestly, which is late this year. I will have been in the hobby for like 10 years and in like December. So maybe towards the latter part of the year, that's when I'll be like really stepping out. But I think it's mostly for, you know, just for personal things, for personal reasons. Just like taking a step back and catching up with myself, kind of thing. I think it's very important. So doing that. Fun fact: there's some kind of vintage board on Chandler's office scenes in the early seasons, at least. Either a Model M or maybe some kind of cherry board. I feel like if it's a cherry board, it will be very recognizable. Although they do have some oddities out there, cherry boards. You know, you guys have seen Bassett's like Scientology board, but in terms of like you know, if it's like an MXMY design, a lot of their boards do have a more recognizable sort of like profile, but especially like their, you know, G80 series, right? But there definitely is some odd stuff when you get away from the MXMY architecture for switches. I hope it's all very manageable. I think so far so good, in my opinion. Sometimes it's chill to watch predictable stuff with good writing. Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't like being at the edge, you know, at the edge of my seat, not knowing that the writing of a show or something like that is going to go downhill towards the end. I mean, it's the worst letdown to watch a show to the end, only for the final, let's say, 2 seasons or whatever it is, to be a major letdown, because, you know, writing could not resolve, and usually that's how shows actually end, right? This is the reality of screenwriting, right? Or of screenplay, and like just like writing in general, and the business around it is that you know, there's more forces at play in television especially, right, in TV shows, and you know, people are writers and directors are forced to make decisions against really their wishes, and it just turns out that way. That's just how it goes. So in a way, it's kind of expected, but yeah. Have you seen the Scientology speedruns lately? No. The Dragon Prince, loved it. A little bittersweet towards the end. Oh, I love that though. I think bittersweet. I think open-ended or even like a bit bittersweet, a bit sad is actually. I think it's nice. Like it leaves it open to interpretation. Makes you think a little more, and especially if it's like, I mean, similar to like, you know, well, I mean, yeah, I think a lot of us may agree if you watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, but some people don't particularly love the directions it took with respect to relationships, or like forcing relationships, really, especially like romantic interests and whatnot. But like, there are some things about these shows that, like, you know, they, you know, you might not be a huge fan of, and that's just how it goes. But I do like a slightly open-ended ending though. I don't like I don't like it everything just all nicely tidied up all the time. Feels a little I don't know. In a way, it's kind of closed-minded. Best Scientology board could go hard in the current anti-Scientology meme hype. Fede, you getting that Norbauer windfall? No. Speaking of employment though, like if anything these days I wake up with rejection emails in my inbox. You know, just like looking casually on the side kind of thing, and something like that. But you know, no. As far as I'm aware, I don't think I'm able to relocate to California either. I'll be in New York for as long as I can currently predict. So if I'm looking, if there's any keyboard businesses out there willing to relocate to New York, let me know. I can't guarantee I'll find you a space. If you ever have spoken to anybody who has lived in New York, you know the shit show it is to get spaces here. It doesn't matter whether it's a commercial space or a residential one, but it's a shit show. You know, listings pop up one day and they're gone the same day, if not the next day. And it's just like that in a lot of places, but I would say New York definitely is a bit of a rush. And so it's chaotic out here. Ping me when you finish it. I would love to know your impressions. Oh, okay. I will. Let's see. Back to Dragon King follow-up series on the Kickstarter. Interested to see where they take the story. Oh, there's a Kickstarter follow-up. Oh, didn't know that. Even the amazing quality show that's really darker series are intense. I'm not usually in the mood to watch. So fun, well-written chill shows are nice. Yeah. Well, you know, we alternate between more intense and less intense. Yeah. We are excited for this June for the premiere of The Vampire Lestat. That's something that we are looking forward to as far as TV goes. You know, first time adaptation of that second book, right, from Anne Rice's universe. So pretty excited about that. And that's a little bit more intense feelings and emotions wise, I think, just due to the nature of the characters. Do you want to watch Berserk at some point? Extra motivation from really thirsting for dark ecliptica. Oh, let's see. Scientology speedruns are basically New York teens trolling Scientology by trying to run through their building like a video game. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, their building is in a... Isn't it in Midtown, I think? Their big church, I think, is in, like, Midtown. Scientology. I've seen it a few times walking around. It's, like, near Broadway. Stay in New York, save on gas, have a functional mayor. Yeah, that does give hope. Yes. Having a functional mayor, yes. Yeah. Well, it's a long road ahead for him, to be honest. It's gonna be an uphill battle. Like, you know, the man has done a lot for the city and is trying to do a lot for the city in such a short time, but yeah, he's gonna hit the red tape, and I'm sure it's gonna be tough. Not just like political opponent wise, but like there's just a lot at play here. Too much money, power. It's kind of scary. I don't know how the whole, like, I mean, like, the real estate stuff is kind of crazy to me. Like, promises on like rent stabilizing and rent freezes and things like that. Like, every year we basically wonder whether we need to move or not, and it sucks. But you know, things like that. I mean, obviously it affects a lot more people. Actually, you know, different from us, way worse. But even people who make a decent salary, it's a concern. I mean, buying here is kind of out of the question. I think that's also another thing. It's like another reality of this. It's like buying in New York is just not that easy. So yeah. All right. So what kind of screws we have here? Got I have the screwdriver. Maybe I'll just use it. GMK Mamdani when? What do we call it? Well, so if it were GMK Zoran, we have to call the extension kit the, what is that? The little cardamom? I don't know. You guys know about his rapper name, right? It's very cute. There's mode Boston, mode LA. Tell Obscure to spin up mode NYC. That would be crazy. NYC is so expensive, though. It's such an expensive place to do anything. Oh, these are all magnetic. Okay, that's nice. To split these screws, though. Big Apple. Yeah. No way. NYC for a keyboard company is insane. It's insane work. I didn't know there were several Scientology places in New York, but I'm not too surprised. I only know the big one. There's one big one that's kind of close to like K-Town, you know, Broadway, K-Town, New York area. So like right in the middle of Midtown Manhattan, and that one is like well known to be the biggest one. It's always like very much closed, and there's just not like, I've never seen people come in and out of them. Obviously, not sure even if it's like abandoned or whatever, but yeah. I know nothing about the Scientology churches here in New York. Obviously, I just know they exist. Pretty dark topic. Yes, Scientology is a dark topic. Their cult work it's pretty insane. Like what they did to quite a lot of people. That 90s cherry board they commissioned is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, cherry did have a lot of clients. That's a fact. I personally find Cherry itself an interesting company because it's like founded in the US, but you know, it's spun off over to Germany. And so like it's very bizarre. Like now it's like you can't say Cherry is an American company. Like it started as an American company, but it's not. So it's a very interesting company. It has a lot of history now, if you think about it. Yeah. It was like founded in like Illinois or something. Like, you know, like it's the same state where Chicago is, right? So but yeah, and then it got and then they relocated their headquarters to Germany. So it became like Cherry Auerbach, whatever. And then it's basically been like a German company essentially since. Like if you talk about Cherry, it's like basically Germany. So they're still doing some German stuff. Well, no. Well, so they recently it's been like the past year or two announcement that they like were moving production work to China, right? Yeah, as far as I recall it, the manufacturing stuff like moved over to like China and stuff. Nobody's really done any sound comparisons between the Chinese and German switches on YouTube or Twitch, right? I don't think so. Not that I'm aware. Yeah, as far as I know, I don't know anything about the Chinese Cherry switches. Like, there's like, no one has said like, oh, these are like the Chinese made ones. So, yeah. Okay. It's speculation, but there's evidence. So it's speculation for now. Let me see. That's it for this PC board. It doesn't need the force brake pads, IMO. Not sure what the client wants. They didn't actually specify. We're just kind of actually going, I guess like a dealer's choice situation. So if you advise that it doesn't need it, then I will follow that advice because you have more experience than I do. I mean, after all, it's your own design. But duly noted. That would make sense. Plastic and metal instead of metal and metal. All right. I bought some MX pedals and they're nice. I've heard good things about the new stuff. Was it the fire finches and the pedals? It looks nicer without it, and there's no alu. Doesn't really make an impact, right? Oh. Right. Right. Can we use this today? Oh, yeah. They're like Gap Milky Browns. Oh, interesting. Like Gap Milky Brown. So MX Brown tactility still-ish, but slightly more dampened because of a milky housing, I assume. That's nice. That's actually pretty good. It's like the Nixie-ified version of MX Browns, right? A bit less than MX Brown tactility. Oh, less tactile. Okay. What are Obscuras? Obscuras, someone correct me if I'm mistaken, but they are long pole tactiles. Fairly high pitch long pole tactiles with factory lube. That's, I believe, 205G0. I think it was like, was it like 65 gram springs? And they came out years ago now. And they are not JWK switches. They are, I think these are manufactured by, I'm gonna take a wild stab that these are similar to like Texie switches, so they're really tight on the housing. Yeah, They're linears. Did I say tactile? No, yeah, I said, yeah, no. Obscuras are linears. I might have gotten confused saying that if because we were talking about the pedals earlier. But yeah, fairly high pitched and loud long pole linears from Mode. For my channel points, keycap choice redeem either cat. Do I even have any cat sets? I don't think I do actually. I'm sorry. I did have cat. One of the like most standard cats was it like black and white or wob? One of those two, right? And I gave it to somebody like a long time ago. Just tried it, and then I was like, okay, I think that's good enough for me. But obscure GMK, oldest GMK, if you wanted to work with this board color, old set, it's either gotta be like as simple as possible as bare bones Stormtrooper, which is basically GMK minimal but text icon mod, or maybe like GMK Monkey. That's it's like white and orange legends. Yeah. Oh, you know it, Monkey. Yeah. There you go. So Monkey is the one of those like older sets that hold on. Yeah, it's this one here. Looks like, hope I don't mistake that. You have Monkey? Yeah, I do. I actually do have GMK Monkey. Olivetti. I don't have like the beige Olivetti. I have true Olivetti. It's on the board already, but yeah. Huh? Oh, you do? I have no idea where it is either. I was just told we have a cat set at home, and then was told I don't know where it is, and I was like, I don't know either. So that's how much we love our cat sets at home. We love our cat. We don't love the cat sets that we have at home. Is this a mode board with the funky crown mounting? No, this was the previous version of that. It's just a client build. Oh, these stats are nice. Oh, Kiwi. Baggy. He wants something. You guys can you guys hear Kiwi? I'm not sure if you can. Might be a little too far from the mic. Well, maybe you can. Yeah, he's definitely asking for something. Heard him? Oh. They heard him. Okay, he's getting a little snack. Hubert, hello. What was for dinner? We cheated today and didn't cook at home. So we got what was it? Like a rice bowl with pork and cabbage, and we just like got takeout. And the second one was it's like noodles with like minced pork. You know, like the like the Chinese version. And then we have some veggies at home, so I just made a salad. I did like mixed greens, apple, sliced apple, and some cucumbers, and then I made a dressing with some like, you know, like fresh olive oil, not fresh, so you know, like extra virgin, right? Olive oil, like balsamic vinegar, some honey, mustard, a little bit of ground pepper, touch of salt, blah blah, etc. etc. But yeah, made a nice little dressing and just like had a salad, and then had some fruit afterwards. That was it. That was dinner. That was dinner. Damn. Okay, chef. Well, it's because I actually can't go. I prefer not to go a meal without like something on the side, like a fruit or salad, ideally. Just can't. Just, you know, too much carb in me just kind of just a little overwhelming. I mean, when I'm outside and I don't have a choice, then fine. But if it's like if we have it here, like if it's accessible, then why not? You know, fruit and veggies. Behind hands. Yeah. Not really though. I'm not that good of a cook. I'm only good enough a cook that I can read a recipe and like kind of like understand everything and, you know, like do it fairly simply, but like not, I can't like concoct on the fly really delicious crazy meals and have amazing presentation. Nah, none of that. Functional cook. That's about it. Also, honestly, if I were a little less lazy, I would probably do a lot more, but yeah. But anyway, how are you guys doing? What do you have for dinner, Hubert? I know for those on the, I guess in the West Coast you probably maybe already had dinner, maybe not, depending on your schedule. It's like 7 now. If you're about to have dinner, I hope you enjoy your dinner. I just woke up. I know that. I know you are in the other half of the world. Good morning to you. Do you usually have breakfast? Are you guys breakfast people? I can't go on a day without breakfast, actually. Genuinely cannot. I have to have something. Even if it's a piece of fruit or like a little bowl of yogurt and granola or oatmeal, anything, I have to have something. I like have to have something in the morning to function for the rest of the day. But I know, I would say like, I'm not sure, I would say yeah, maybe even the majority of people I know actually kind of do a no breakfast. Or like even tell me like they just really don't like having breakfast. But yeah, what kind of people are you guys? 99% of the time I skip breakfast since like middle school. So I used to skip breakfast for some time too. And then I kind of, actually in uni, like in college, I actually went back to having breakfast regularly, and it was I don't know, felt much better, so just kept it at that. Just made me feel much better throughout the day, so I was like, okay, I'll just keep having breakfast in the morning. Rice with fried egg? Thanks for embarrassing me. Oh, that's not embarrassing. Sometimes you just do what you gotta do. But I'm sure you like season it and stuff. Rice with fried egg is kind of goated because it's so easy. And also, let's not forget that the way you fry your egg can vary in so many ways. So it is not embarrassing. Do not. Black coffee and sick for breakfast. Nowadays, just coffee. Damn. Breakfast of champions over here. Add some spam to that. Extra goated. I mean, at that point, you add also kimchi and any veggies you have around. Just make it a quick and easy bibimbap, right? If you got like, if you're gonna do rice and fried egg, yeah, mix in whatever you got in the fridge that you can just cook with it. Yum yum. Skip breakfast during school. Usually eating, drinking coffee, tea before work now. Yeah, I mean, well, having a drink, I think is, I wouldn't consider that breakfast, but it is part of a routine. Like it is, I would say a lot of people, if not most people, do it, right? Breakfast, lunch, and a small dinner, that's the healthiest way to go about your day. That's for sure. What's koji aging? Or can someone just like quickly describe the process? I don't need to know the details. I just need to know like what entails the aging itself, rather. Hold on a minute. These screws, there's some shorter M2 screws and there's some longer ones. I'm just gonna double check if I'm missing, not missing, sorry, if I need to save the smaller ones for something else. Fasteners. Top mount fasteners. Yeah, daughter board, the shortest ones, okay. So it is, I was right, okay. Daughter board fasteners are the smallest ones. You just make a powder and put it on one ingredient. Koji is mold, rice mold. Oh, that's so interesting. That sounds like work, though. Rice mold. So how long do you have to do this for? Like age it? It's rice fungus used to. Oh, it's used to make soy sauce. Oh, okay. I see. I can see it now. I can imagine it now. Because I know how the soy sauce stuff is made, but I didn't know about for meat. Okay. I just coat steaks for a few days and then brush it off. Oh. Cure with it and then brush it off? That doesn't seem too bad if the koji itself is not that bad to that, I feel. Right? Alright, so there's a lot of extra screws here. Let's see. So I was gonna do the lattice mount here, the blocks. So let's do that. So for that, did this come with foam or anything? I think so, right? Maybe that's a separate kit, so I don't think it did. I didn't see in the packaging. Okay. So lattice mounting blocks, they look like this. And there's curved ones for the bottom, square ones for the top. So these are for the top mount, lattice. I plan food all the time. I am professionally fat. I love that statement. There's something I love about that statement. I'm professionally fat. I plan food all the time. I love that. I see something like mode sports is something. Wait, sorry. I must have missed the previous message. Okay. Do you think the higher end custom keyboards could ever become more mainstream within nerd and tech culture in general? Spending a bit more on a nice PC case and graphics card is a bit more normal for that audience. I mean, wouldn't you think that it kind of has had its surge already in that space though? Like, it's not that long ago that, you know, that people were into, like, you know, obviously this is like the pandemic stuff, but like that, you know, like people were into like the multiple thousands for key cults and TGRs and whatever, what have you. Like that was a thing. So I feel like it already had that time where there was an audience seeking to spend that extra money to fill that gap for their setups. I think it already existed. It passed already. Many of those people are actually just kind of watching from the periphery. They already have the boards that they want, or they just kind of faded away because they got what they wanted and they left to do other hobbies and other things, right? So let's see. These blocks have some softer blocks and some stiffer blocks. I feel like the softer blocks will suit this nicely, but maybe I might mix and match a little bit here. I'm thinking maybe, I wonder if it matters whether the top or the bottom are softer compared to the other side. Maybe I'll leave the softer ones for now. I think the softer ones should be okay. They don't feel like super soft. Salt with dehydrated carrot peel. Yum. See, something like mode sports is something sometimes filling that niche. I know many people are in the hobby, but they buy mode. I think the thing about mode being well known is more about marketing, and it's more about being visible. So the thing about the tech space, right? The tech space is it's a pretty developed space now, right? Like it is still like somewhat like nerd mainstream, but like it's like a developed space. And you know, like what I've noticed from like Mode's work in general is that they attend events in the space more so than small brands or small vendors that, or even like quote unquote the big vendors in our community. These vendors are not going to like, you know, CES or whatever, and like, you know, PAX or you know, whatever it is, right? They're not attending these big events where like more of that tech mainstream is present. Whereas in the case of Mode, they are doing more of that. So that's why like they are more visible within the sort of like periphery to main side of tech, but periphery of the keyboard community, but of the enthusiasts, of the like intense enthusiast community, and more so in like the mainstream part of tech, right? I think that's more about is a visibility issue, right, than it is about whether the board fills the niche or not, right? That's my opinion. And I think there have been brands that have attempted to break into that too. I would say Mono-K actually was trying pretty hard to break into that like mainstream tech sort of arena, but for them the biggest challenge was actually that they were not US based. it did complicate a lot of things for them. So yeah, but they would like pitch and pitch themselves like as a startup and like kind of like coming up in this space, well known, work with like well known designers, blah blah blah. Would like go to events where they would pitch their business and what they do and to like investors and things like that, and that matters to become visible in the space. But I think the biggest challenge they had was that they were not like North American based. It's a lot harder to break in the Asian market first and then sort of like to make it out. And it's also different depending on the size of the venture too. So. What's that brand that was being used by Korean League Pro with all the lights? It's just really hard ammo. Yeah, I don't remember the brand name, but I know what you're talking about. For example, the new Slate Zero board has good marketing, and the tech guy did a YouTube video on it. I've been seeing non-hobbies getting to Slate Zero. Yeah, I think, yeah, it's well, so the guys at the people who run the Slate Zero, Adler Magnus, they've been doing like other things in that space. So I think they kind of know a bit more of that formula for themselves, and they're more so actually trying to break into the keyboard side to gain insight and sort of use that feedback they get from the keyboard side of things to improve what they know about the like more tech main side. And it's a different approach. Essentially, it's coming from the other side, dipping your feet here a bit to kind of learn the process and then improve from there and reiterate going back and forth. It's just a different approach because that's like their origin, like where they started is a bit different. But and you could say this about let's say what other brands that are a good example. The Stratum 80 guys, right? Artifact Industries, right? These guys are actually kind of complete opposites in some ways. Like they're coming from a professional design background, and then sort of like approaching the keyboard space separately, and then being like, okay, like let's try to tackle this problem down and design something kind of cool that's ours and whatnot, and in our specific tone and language. And I think with this Stratum 80, they're actually kind of breaking into both the mechanical keyboard scene, and then by working with well-known vendors in the space that have had some visibility outside, they're gonna slowly start trickling into like more like mainstream stuff. But their specific product is pretty like luxury and premium coded, that it's gonna be harder to justify that for like an average consumer. So that would be the biggest challenge there, is that the price is not that minimal. So how much harder to kind of say that it's worth it, right? Like tell somebody and be like, oh yeah, like that would be a very worthwhile thing to spend your money on, and it's like $800 or whatever, plus however many tops you want to purchase, right? I feel bad for Monoke. I like what they're... Yeah, me too. I genuinely did like what they were doing. I think a lot of the whole thing just kind of went upside down when their... what was that? It was K2, and it was not just the reputation thing and the community thing, right? Like, what am I doing wrong here? Did I not push the tabs all the way? Sorry, I got distracted talking. But I do feel bad for them in the sense that I felt like they would have done a lot more in the scene, but they just had multiple failure points mount, like kind of like pile up all at the same time, and then the financial troubles like just came in. So yeah, the standard also didn't break as much ground as much as they wanted it to be. They wanted it to become a nice like replacement for like you know, like an approachable first mechanical keyboard sort of situation for a lot of people, but it also didn't break that much ground there. Is the lattice sort of like getting stuck here? I think it is. I think the lattice here is, the block is sort of getting stuck. Just need to line it up properly. And then the K2 had issues with their PCB. That was actually, I think that was the biggest pitfall of the K2. It was the PCB issues, the like advertising. Was it Bluetooth? I think they advertised Bluetooth on it, and it didn't pan out as well. And then there was that low profile board. I think that was that one was the one that caused them to kick the bucket essentially. And so yeah. Oh, I see. It's just but yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like you have to have multiple successes to be able to do this right. And so I genuinely feel like, you know, like obviously big props to the Mode team for kind of having managed to stay in this space for as long as they have with their, you know, their own sets of challenges, of course. But like, it's not easy. It's really constant work, and it takes understanding the space to a new level and to iterate on your mistakes and to like, yeah, it's hard work. It's hard work. Okay, these blocks are getting stuck. I feel like the block is getting stuck on the top case, so I'm gonna see if I can maybe line up the. See if the block is getting stuck somewhere here. Ooh, this one fell. Interesting correlation between Slate Zero and Stratum. They both use very square designs. Yeah, I mean, that's just, I think it's their design background. Well, I don't know about this, the Slate Zero in particular, in terms of like what kind of backgrounds they might be coming from. But in terms of the Stratum 80, the people who work on who worked on the design, right? The engineers as well as the designers themselves, right? They come from like a professional background, and they worked on very, very different kinds of products before like sort of switching their gears into the keyboard side of things. And so, oh, I see. Yeah, this block is just kind of being a little finicky. There we go. Okay. It was just one of the bottom side, or yeah, bottom side blocks just being a little finicky. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Now I think I am all lined up. Oh, there's a decent amount of compression on this, actually. Oh, I see. It's getting stuck. On one hand, that's cool because the internet keyword hobby gave rise to its own ideas disconnected from the broader commercial design world. Yeah, that is true. It's nice to see the space grow from the outside in as well, right? Instead of just people from the inside trying to kind of break into the space out, right? I think that is a nice observation. That is very cool for sure. Yeah. Probably the coolest board to come from an industrial designer store like that would have been the Della 960. Which one is that one again? I don't think I saw it, or I don't remember it right now. Which one was that one? It hasn't fulfilled yet. It's a Korean brand. Oh, Della Key, the same brand that does do they have like artisans too, or I feel like I've heard that name. Yep. Oh, okay. I see now. Della 960 is my first. Oh, that's pretty. That's like, you know, it's that's nice. That's a cool design. Am I tripping, or are those blockers kind of feeling a little long in the picture? Maybe it's just a mock mounted sort of situation, but those bezels on the keycaps are like tight, really tight. If you look at the picture, if you look at the top-down picture of the Della 960 board, the keycaps are like right at the edge. I've been so into the look of PC lately. Oh, it's such a nice look. The only part that sucks is that it scratches easily, but it's a very, very nice look. Saw the prototype weather for this when I visited DDS a few months ago. The copper base is insane, and the Della text like Vespa style font. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. Hopefully I did the cable all right. Saw some LEDs flashing there, so I guess they could have turned on, but they didn't right now. Okay, maybe put these guys in here for now. And there's like the bajillions extra screws here. Quite a few. Oh, hello Chris, how are you? Good to see you. Alright, so Yugubi, what do you say you wanted to see on this? You said, I mean, did you say like an old set? I can give you some choices. How about this? I'll give you a choice. I'll name a few old sets that I might like, oldish sets that I have. I think the oldest one is probably like Monkey is out there. It's on the old side. I have like Triumph Adler Royal Alpha. It's the one with the white grayish base with the green, green legends. You know that one? I have that one. I have Monkey, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, I have like Cyan. like the originative one that's like 2016. It's on the old side, 2015 maybe, I don't even know. What other like oldish sets? Trying to think. My first GMK set was actually GMK Carbon. It's like a little fun fact. Because that was about around the time it shipped a little before the time I joined the hobby, but it was like in its peak popularity. So I got really into the look of Carbon pretty early on. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing all right. I've honestly been just pretty preoccupied with life, but I'm hanging in there. I mentioned Stormtrooper before, right? So Stormtrooper is another one. Oldish sets. I don't have like year of date of manufacturing on these, so I don't really know what's older. Because I could look at that Keycap website, the Matrix GitHub page. But what set is also oldish? I mean, and then I have Triumph Adler, the blue, the regular, the first custom color set, the one that's like turquoise, and white-ish. I'm sure you've seen that one, but I'm not sure if that one actually has the right compatibility. Could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think it does though, not for a 65. Those are probably my older ones, and then there's like Wob and Beige and that kind of stuff. Okay, so did Yugi just leave? Did they have something to do? I mean, I guess it is morning time for them, so they did say monkey earlier, so I guess I might just get that. Yeah, I think they just left the desk. That's cool. Okay. Alright, so Kibu Sushi, hello. How's it going? Good to see you and welcome. I'll go get GMK Monkey. Have you guys seen GMK Monkey before? When was the last time I used GMK Monkey actually? Monkey. An easy way for me to search this is actually to just look up my website searches on Google, I think. Wow, I haven't used it in a long time. Wyvern. Wow. That was like years ago, I think. Alright, I'll bring Monkey. I haven't used that set in a while. Okay. At least for like streams and stuff. BRB. Sure don't know what. That also might have pretty poor compatibility, but we'll play it by ear. Okay. Okay, so I am back. Let's try this. Yeah, this I might have to fill artisans for the for the cluster here. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't have much compatibility for 65s. At least not natively, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. You have to use the monkey novelty? Yeah, sure. We can do that. Okay. Huh, there's a little chip on the key. Wow, I didn't know that orange novelty existed. The Matrix ZJ GitHub archive of GMK only shows white and orange novelty. Oh, yeah. That particular website actually, well, it's because changes do happen in between, right? So they only gather a certain amount of, or like, you know, like whatever's posted on the threads, and not every update goes into the thread. Sometimes like during production, or like they like added it later, that kind of stuff. So yeah, there are some of the pages are either outdated or like not complete in that regard. That just happens. Some information gets lost with time. What are you gonna do? But I actually don't know if I even have a monkey novelty that's white and orange. So we'll see. Actually, we'll find out. There's the Winkies. There's a cherry one. There's my escape. It does not have 65 compatibility though, for sure. I know that because I remember these old sets did not have it. It was until later. Actually, well, the technical doesn't even count. I think Monkey didn't even run in the States. Oh, there's a white one. Matrix Archive also hasn't been updated for ages. Yeah, I believe that the creator of that one had some encountered issues. I remember there was some drama in the Chinese community about them basically getting ripped off by other people. And I think they just kind of got mad about it and left. Which is kind of sad, actually. Like, you know, like it really doesn't have to be that way. But it happens. Yeah. Okay, I'll fill these with some artisans, I guess. I think that's probably okay, right? They're not. They won't be perfect, but it's a bit hard to organize a communal effort. Yeah. There's a bit of that. It's kind of a mixed bag, honestly. It's tough. Like, it's essentially volunteered work, and so ends up being difficult to keep something like that up. Got a key that I think will work for a lower profile key here. Any monkey artisans? Actually, yeah. Give me a sec. I do need to find it. Give me a sec. I think I have it on the board. Give me one sec. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I brought a Monkey Artisan. Kind of perfect. Alright, let's shuffle these around. And there's a bongo, little birdie, the little, not sure what to name it. Alright. Alright, let's try this out. Let me adjust my mic here. Raise Lou, hello. How's it going? Oh wait, not the music. It's the mic I need to move. Okay. Okay. Alright, let's try this out. We got our Encore Series 3 built for a client with some Obscuras. We got some GMK Monkey on the keyboard to boot. Some little artisans here that go pretty nicely with it. And let's give it a try. Okay, let me just make sure everything's working. Okay, all right. All right, so this is currently no foam. Obscuras on aluminum. Oh, let me adjust my chair here. Let's give it a shot. Quite nice, definitely a little loud. Obscuras are notably loud in general, so on the loud side of things. So, and a little thunky sort of space bar with the long pole, but it sounds pretty nice. Very clean sound, in my opinion. A crispy sound for sure. All right, let's listen through the mods real quick. Pretty nice. The case itself doesn't have much resonance for this board, and even with no foam, I think it sounds pretty nicely and think I agree with Matt that you know, certainly doesn't really need the force brake pads because you got the polycarb piece. The really old spacebar molds do seem a bit thicker and lower pitched. Oh, maybe it's a density thing. I'm not sure, honestly. Sounds pretty good though. It looks nice. Looks good with Monkey actually because it's a simple set. I know the artisans kind of break the look of a 65%, but only so much you can do when the compatibility isn't there. So, yeah. But maybe we'll do a little switcheroo of the lattice blocks. Try that, and then you know, try it one more time, and then wrap it up there after that. But looks pretty sweet. Okay. So let's I did want to try the stiffer blocks, so I want to open it up just to mess around with it a little bit. I'm thinking maybe I will use the stiffer blocks for the bottom side. Kind of feel, actually I don't know, maybe, yeah, maybe the bottom side. I actually feel like this top side feels nice and has some nice feedback to it, but kind of feel like prefer a little more stiffness on the mounting. So, and one thing I noticed was that the plate tabs are pretty separated on the bottom. These two right here. So I feel like stiffening those up might help a little bit. So let's give it a shot. Check out this build picture I saw in the GMK server. What's that? Oh, that's cute. Sorry, it's that's sweet. That's GMK Sloth, right? That's so cute. That is nice. That's tasteful. This is a really tasteful way to do small form factor. That's really cute. Yeah. GMK Sloth and Monkey are like brother sets. Could go go down the whole line of different animals to choose from, as inspiration. I wonder how they did the blocker. I wonder too. I mean, maybe is it just like engraved, like laser engraved type of deal, perhaps? There's that dinosaur set coming up from Mr. Captain Sterling. The, what was it called? I forget what it's called, but it's like a green one, right? The one that he submitted for the contest. That was cute. Okay. I kind of wanted to stiffen these up though. Let's see. So I'll try some stiff lattice blocks on the bottom instead of leaving the top and then leaving the top with the softer ones. And I just a hunch. I feel like I'm gonna like this better. Or maybe I could stiffen them all up except for the middle one. I'm not sure. Should we do that? Stiffening up all the blocks and going with soft middle. Let's see how it goes actually. GMK Dino, I'm rendering it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Mikey Digit, aren't you running there's that the Pokemon set. That's happening this month, huh? I wish you the best. So there's the novelties look very nice. Are you grabbing one? I'm not sure. I do have a number of blue sets because that's the one that I like. I'm not sure yet. I need to just look through my blue sets and see if I wanna replace one of them. Try to have a try to have one set in and one set out if it's possible. Outside of the Pokemon kind of inspiration, you know what I mean? But yeah, I like the blue one a lot. The regular base kit, I guess. Let's see if it hits MOQ. I hope it does. I feel like it will. I feel like it's very popular IP, and especially right now. You know what I mean? I feel like Pokemon stuff is, or at least Pokemon adjacent, right? So it's like, do you think it would struggle? I could see, well, I will be honest with you. I personally struggle seeing both of them hitting MOQ because it's two separate base kits. It's a difficult one. Like it's a difficult call. I think like people generally like you know, if you think of it from a consumer perspective, people will just want to buy one, right, and not both. And so I feel like it's just gonna be whichever is the more popular of the two is gonna hit, and the other one does have a chance to not make it. So I feel like going in with that expectation as the runner might honestly be fair, because it's kind of tough, you know. Two base kits in a month it can be tough, especially since it's sharing the same exact theme. I think that's the hard part of it. The hard part is that it's sharing the same exact theme. Just you know, shiny variants versus non kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, it's tough. If the only people buying GMK anymore are people obsessed with collecting old GMK's reruns, beige and alert, then maybe it'll struggle. No, I don't think that. I actually think the market is not quite just that. Generally speaking, I actually, that's kind of a misconception. I genuinely think the market is more than just those people. Yeah, at least. Oops, that's my personal take on it. I don't think it's just those people who are out there. You know what I mean? Oops. I am struggling to line up the screw here. Isn't GMK Splash also Pokemon? Yeah, GMK Splash is the Squirtle inspired one, right? Yeah, it's not the only one. But you know, don't forget that GMK Splash is like a rerun of Hydro. So the perspective on it is different when it's freshly new versus something that's like a reprise of something that existed before. Because you have different audiences for that. Essentially. But I don't really see the reason the reception would be bad for King of the Seas, because it's a popular Pokemon, and also I think the thematic aspect of it is being done quite well. So at least my opinion is that it will do okay. But I would not bank on the fact that it will do okay for both base kits. I think that's possibly a little too ambitious. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, 1 sec. Okay. All right. So let's try this now. So now I'm trying it with some different lattice blocks. I replaced all the 4 corners with some stiffer ones, so we're gonna just try it with that. Okay. Okay, let's give it a shot though. Let me stop the music and. All right, so corners with stiffer lattice blocks. Everything else is the same. Sounds pretty nice. Like, I really like the deeper spacebar. This is a nice sound to it. I do think the change of the bottom lattice blocks did make a nice change. I actually think I'm gonna keep it like this. I think the client will enjoy this a little bit more. If I recall, they sounded like they're a slightly heavier typist, so I think they'll appreciate a little bit more feedback from the bottom row. All right, let me go through the mods. Yeah, that feels really nice. I really actually like the feedback of these stiffer lattice blocks, and I like that it still retained some of the softness that comes from this middle one. There's no lattice blocks here in the middle at all, and so it retains a good amount of that softness from the typing. So because this middle part is managing to sort of have a little like extra give. So I think that was a favorable change for this design. So I like this. It has a good amount of sturdiness, and it still gives like a softness that's very akin, like a gasket mount situation where it's like a bit, you know, just a bit softer. Really nice. Really nice. Also, I really like the look of this board. It's such a nice look on this. It's really, really nice. Okay. Oh, I'm glad you guys agree. Okay, good. I'm still always impressed by the new mode stuff. We've come a long way from the first Mode 80. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, truly an exemplary brand in terms of like learning, advancing, having pretty solid leadership, and like carrying through that whole like it's just like the methodology. Like it's been consistent. Like they've been iterating on their observed things, like observations and mistakes and all the things that they learned through that, and releasing models that do have marked improvement improvements over the previous one each and every time that they like put something out. So that's been pretty good. It's always nice to see that. Always a good sign of success to see something like that in the hobby, because it leads by example, right? So other people can be inspired by it. So I can personally appreciate it a lot. And as someone who gets to check out some of these boards, I think it's a pleasure to check out like newly polished designs and stuff. But yeah, no, I actually, this is my first time building an Encore. I'm not sure if when Matthew was here, when Matt was here, I'm not sure if he heard it, but yeah, it's my first time building his design specifically. I've seen it obviously at meetups and whatnot, but first time actually building it. And it's super lovely, such a nice board. I really think the mix of materials here, it's such a pretty look. Yeah. And here, especially here with the polycarb, one thing I don't like about this is you can see here the polycarb, because it's polycarb, it's not aluminum. It does have a little bit of it kind of opens a little gap here because there's no middle screw. It's 4 screws only, 4 bolts from the corners. So the middle opens up a little bit with the polycarb, whereas I'm pretty sure with the aluminum case it doesn't experience this much. There's a bit of warping from the polycarbonate, just like here. You can kind of barely see a small gap forming there. Yeah, there's a bit of give here in the polycarbonate, which is a bit unfortunate. But I do think it's partly it's the polycarb itself, and partly it's the screws being so far away from each other. Yeah, but I mean this model was designed with aluminum in mind. The alu and the wood, the first round of boards that they did in mind, and so obviously this wouldn't happen with the other version. But with the polycarb, that's just the downside. One relieving end of that is that it doesn't suffer functionally. You know, it does have some warping, but you don't functionally actually experience issues with, like, it doesn't wobble or like have like deleterious effects on the sound or anything. So at least there's that. But yeah, I am noticing there's a little gap forming here in the middle. Even if I don't think even if I untighten this, it would even out as much. I think it's like this. I can ask Matt about it later, but I think it's probably right. It does appear this also has some underglow. I wonder what it looks like with the underglow on. Where is it? Lighting, solid color. Ah, okay. Oh, it's just 2 rows. Yeah, no underglow is fine. I think no underglow is cool. I think that's fine. It's a clean look like this by itself. But yeah. Okay. So do we have anything else? I do have some boards to build for a client who sent a few boards, and they're like, you know, if you want to build it off stream or on stream, it's up to you. So I'll probably be building those, some of them at least, I'll be building them on stream. So I'll have some builds coming up. I know I haven't been streaming nearly as much lately, but I personally enjoy doing this, so I'll be very happy to stream more. I missed you guys. Oh, almost forgot. Do you see the Iris Artisan? Just kidding. Iris Artisan. With King of the Seas. Just curious. Is that the one that was on the renders? If it's on the renders, I saw it, but I didn't see like the product page yet. So let me see. Is it on the product page? No, but is it just on the renders? Okay, the bowls page just has the keycaps. Store group by keycaps. I wonder Oh, it doesn't show. Is it pre-order? Eh? Oh, doesn't show up there. Oh, okay, I guess it's just a placeholder. Oh, Feather, thank you. Of course. I mean, I am taking care of myself. To be honest, as much as I stream less, I'm also doing a lot of personal stuff. So it's like in a good way. I'm like actually just, you know, spending more quality time with people and all that. It's just been more busy, but it's not like, it's not been a bad thing. It's been a good thing. Can you share it here? Yeah, of course. Go ahead. I don't mind. I'll wait for you. In the meantime, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. The third photo. Oh, okay, so it is on your Instagram. Let me open it up here. Oh, that's pretty. That's very nice. It's this one, right? Oh, I like it. It's like a inset. Is this gonna be made of what is this gonna be, like plastic, aluminum? That's nice. I like the detail on it. This is gonna be a the design itself has a nice it's like a good template for, like, you could do other colorways with this. It's pretty nice. Resin cast? Oh, cool. Very nice. Who's making these? That's a nice design. Good job. Yeah, no, that looks very cool. Me? Oh, fancy. Very nice. Okay, exciting stuff. Do you want one? I mean, I'm happy to have one. But you know, don't force yourself. It's expensive to ship. All right, let's wrap things up here though. I shall be rating now, probably. Diego, your artisan sculpting stream when? I don't have sculpting tools or the clay to do that. I do have friends like in the artisan community who definitely have it, and they'll be like, yeah, I'll just send it to you. I haven't gotten there. I'm not that creative. I don't know what I would sculpt. I think I have the patience to try. I don't think what I would make though. Like what's out there that no one else has done that I would enjoy making, kind of thing. Like that's the idea that I'm like, oh, I'm not sure, man. Like being creative is that. It's like expressing yourself and at the same time being, yeah, it's like being true to yourself and still making a subject that, you know, resonates with you and is original, that isn't what somebody else already did. It's hard. It's hard to make. Oh, Godson with the raid. Hello. Thanks for the raid. We're about to be over here, actually. Also, Rue, hello. Nice keycaps. Thank you. Apiary's gaming. Okay, we can raid Apiary. Oh, she's still playing RDR. Oh yeah, yeehaw, let's go. All right. Yo, Godson, thanks for the raid, man. Hope you're doing well. All right, folks. I will be bouncing for now. But yeah, if you guys got anything exciting to share, and if you wanna hang out on my server, just come through. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm gonna go. Maybe I'll go chillax, watch some Dragon Prince, maybe watch some ReZero. I'm not sure, but I need to get caught up on ReZero, and then, but yeah, keep talking about keyboards, and I'll see you guys next stream, whenever that is. Should be soon, but I'll see you guys then. Okay. All right, friends. Thank you again for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you, Chris. Bye.